Well, happy May the 4th to those out there who like a bit of Star Wars. Old, young, new, been with the saga since the beginning. Happy May the 4th. Star Wars for me, I was lucky enough to catch Star Wars in the cinema as a kid at the right time. I was the target audience. I was a big fan of Ray Harryhausen and monster movies already, and I remember being dragged out to go to the cinema, and I was in a bad mood. I didn't want to go to the cinema, and I was like forced to go. I don't want to go. I want to play with my friends. Blah blah blah. And we stood in a queue for hours. It felt like hours to me for as a kid, and it was. It was literally a blockbuster queue. The queue started at the cinema and went round the block, and I swear it went around the block a couple of times. Anyway, we got in. The only place we could get was like near the front of the cinema, a little bit off center, and I still didn't want to be there. Sat through the adverts, and you have to remember as well, like these were smoky cinemas back in the day. You could still smoke in the cinema, so it was not a pleasant place to be. But those horns blared, the title crawl, and when I saw that, or felt, because the sound was amazing, when I felt the rebel blockade runner fly over my head, what seemed like fly over my head, chased by that Star Destroyer, and there's two droids, barely dodging blaster fire to escape. It set off something in me. And what Star Wars has done for me, I was already into science fiction, but it just cemented my love of science fiction. And the way that the film itself was presented and everything about it, what George Lucas did, he created an environment for kids' imagination. I don't think that's really acknowledged enough. With those Star Wars toys, with naming every character and giving them just enough of a backstory for us kids to, expand, create our own expanded universe before there was an expanded universe. It was fantastic. He had alien speaking alien languages with subtitles, which encouraged me, at least, and my friends, to watch films with subtitles. It wasn't a thing. We grew up with subtitles in Star Wars. The subtitles in films wasn't a problem. And as soon as I found out that, learned more, about the special effects, how the things were done, I was fascinated by that. But more importantly, fascinated by the films that George Lucas, was interested in. When I found out that, Star Wars had massive elements from Dune, Hidden Fortress. There was French New Wave in there as well. The way it was edited was fabulous. And all of these influences I visited because of Star Wars. Star Wars set me on that road. And yeah, it was a long while before I saw Breathless. But it all stemmed from that film, from the imagination that a man sparked. And still to this day, we're talking about it. There's like an informal holiday, May the 4th, 50 years later. So just thank you, recognize what it is for what it is. It was such a difference as well. If you compare the science fiction films of just like, I think like a year before, compare Star Wars with Logan's Run, they are worlds apart. The level of artistry, the attention to detail, the story, the fact it knew what its audience was, it created wasn't stuck with them, you know. And it was a mid-budget film when it was made. It wasn't a massive budget film either. So, yeah, just thanks. Remember, may the force be with you.